Living space. The city had begun to encroach upon the village even before Lyuba was born. She never even caught the times when the place where she lived was a fully fledged settlement. In Lyuba's childhood, it was called the private sector, and all its residents expected to be relocated to the city any day now and rejoiced, after all, who wouldn't like living in a real house with all the amenities? And since this was about to happen at any moment, there was no real point in tending to a village farm. They got rid of the livestock and didn't really plant vegetable gardens. If you planted a whole bunch of things and then got evicted, it would all go to waste. Except this relocation was being carried out according to some clever plan that was unknown to any of the residents. Some people had been relocated long ago, their houses standing abandoned or demolished, while others lived on in expectation, just like Lyuba's parents. And nearby, literally 2 steps away, rose ordinary 9-story buildings. Just one entryway of which would have been enough to relocate all the poor private sector residents. Actually, Lyuba's parents were already city folk. At least, her mother, Ksenia Andreevna, was. She was born and raised in the city. Her mother, Tatyana Vladimirovna, still lived in a nice 3-room apartment, and not in some panel high-rise, but in an old, solid building in the very center. How her mother, after getting married, moved to the village, Lyuba didn't really know. All the relatives told the story differently, and later on, there was no one left to ask. One thing was clear: Ksenia had a serious falling out with her mother, after which she became a villager. And as for why their young family with a small child wasn't relocated first, no one really knew. That is, Tatyana Vladimirovna knew and told Ksenia directly, or rather, screamed it. The mother and daughter couldn't just talk, they could only fight. "What kind of apartment do you want now?" Grandma Tanya would scream. "So that you can trash it the same way and ruin the lives of all the neighbors? People like you should only die in a shack. I'm dying because of you. It's you who ruined everyone's life. You destroyed us, both Mishka and me." Lyuba's mother would strain her voice screaming back. Lyuba was already about 6 years old when she began to understand these arguments, but naturally, she didn't take part in them. She would hide fearfully in a corner, not fully understanding what was going on, and she hated her grandmother. How could she scream such things about her mommy dying? A mean, nasty old woman. My poor mommy, having to live with her in her childhood. Poor Uncle Misha. She only knew her uncle, her mother's brother, from a photograph. He was there in the company of those who picked her up from the maternity hospital, and shortly after that, he died from some mysterious illness that, judging by everything, had also befallen her mother. Her father, by the way, had also left by that time, leaving no memory in his daughter's mind. And by the moment Lyuba started to understand things, her mommy had begun to drink, especially after those meetings with grandma or with certain men, with whom they would first talk peacefully after sending Lyuba to another room, and then her mother would cry, drink, and say, "Yeah, Lyubka, nobody needs us." Lyuba would hug her. "Mommy, let them not come anymore. Neither grandma nor all those others." Her mother would push her away a lot. "You understand, grandma? Yeah, needs to be kept away, and the others too. But, you see, doing the same thing all the time is no life." Grandma didn't show up after that, but the others didn't disappear. But then Uncle Yura appeared, who decided to stay forever, that is, to become like a father. That's how her mother explained it. Lyuba didn't really like it, but how could she object? And who knows, maybe it would be better. It wasn't, of course. But the time came for Lyuba to go to school, an ordinary city school, the same one attended by the kids from the 9-story buildings. Lyuba had a chance to change her life even at that early age. When she turned 7, Grandma Tanya came to visit them for the last time and said, "Pack your things, Lyuba, let's go to my place. It's no good for you to live here with these people." But Lyuba pressed against her mother and resolutely refused. She would have liked to live with her grandmother, though she had only been there a couple of times. She certainly appreciated all the advantages of a spacious, beautiful apartment with modern conveniences. She wanted very much to live there, in a spacious home with gas and running water. But what about Mom? Grandma didn't invite Mom. She didn't even look at her, wanting to take only her granddaughter. And this time, her mother did not push away Lyuba, who was clinging to her. On the contrary, she pressed her close and shouted at Grandma, "What, ran out of people to feast on? You want to cripple my daughter just like you did me? Well, no way. You won't get her." "Understood," Tatyana Vladimirovna hissed with calm fury. "It is you who have already crippled your own daughter. Well, have it your way, but remember, I want nothing to do with either of you, and you will not get my apartment." "We'll see about that," Ksenia shouted after her, continuing to scream a few more things. But Grandma probably didn't hear it anymore. "Mom, why is she like that?" Lyuba asked. And then Ksenia, as usual, pushed her away, but explained anyway, because that's just how she is. Good job for not going with her. Otherwise, she would have ruined your whole life too, just like she did mine. Everything dies around her. To think she's trying to blackmail me with her apartment. Then Uncle Yura chimed in. "Hey, Ksyuka, we could think about that apartment. Why should she get everything? You have the same right. Don't you? You should sue her for a property division." "Right, us right. I don't have any rights. And taking her to court would cost more than it's worth." Then came some adult argument of theirs, which turned into a massive fight and ended, it seemed, with a physical altercation and her mother's tears. Uncle Yura also uttered something like, "We should just give the girl to her, let her feed her herself. How many more years is she going to sit on our necks?" Her mother, of course, did not agree with this. It seems that after this, the argument escalated into physical violence. But this didn't scare Lyuba as much as it gladdened her. Her mother still didn't want to give her away, she was standing up for her and was not going to agree with Uncle Yura.